a city that embraces history, culture, and sightseeing. A city of millennial history. This is Gyeongju. Gyeongju City in Gyeongsangbuk-do Province, a 4-hour drive from Incheon International Airport, where most APEC summit visitors arrive. Gyeongju was the capital of Silla, called Sorabol from 57 BC to 935 AD, and was later renamed Gyeongju. It is a representative historical and cultural tourism city in Korea, where many cultural assets from the Silla period, such as temples, relics, and stone pagodas, still remain. They say a really big event will be held next year in 2025. Shall we meet up?
Hello, my name is Jihyun Bae and I will be guiding you through today's program. I've seen a lot of APEC related placards on the way, and that is because APEC will be held here in Korea for the first time in 20 years in Gyeongju, November 2025. Around then, Gyeongju will be beautifully colored with all those autumn leaves. So 21 member countries will be coming to this beautiful city, not only to have just meetings, aren't they? That's why I've got it covered. When you come to Gyeongju, we have Hwangyongwon, we have Bulguksa. Just as we hope APEC to be one, when you have opportunities to go tourism while on business trip, we call it MICE tourism. Meetings, incentives, convention, and exhibitions. There is Korean proverb, 꼭 먹고 알 먹고, which means killing two birds with a stone. Isn't this what business trip is all about? Gyeongju Guide to commemorate the grand opening of APEC Summit here in Gyeongju. Let's get started! This building, at the end of the corridor, there is a midway tower of Hwangyongwon. Have you ever heard of Hwangyongwon? It is a building modeled after the 9-story wooden pagoda of Hwangyong Temple, which represents Silla dynasty along with Bulguk Temple. It is said to have been built about 1,400 years ago. You can feel how amazing it was even with this restored version of the building. Hwangyongwon also runs a variety of programs related to traditional culture, so I hope many people can enjoy them.
The place that we cannot miss on this Gyeongju trip is Bomun Complex. Bomun Complex has been selected as one of Korea's representative mysterious places. It's a collection of various facilities such as amusement parks, accommodations centered on an artificial lake called Bomun Lake.
If Hwangyong Temple boasts its huge scale, this is Bulguk Temple, which boasts completeness near perfection. So every Korean student has at least once in their lifetime come here and visited this place. Bulguksa is a must-visit site. So if you're watching this video, you should come and see this place. So Bulguksa has a long history dating back at least 1,000 years, so there must be a lot of stories, right? So first off, the mountain's name where Bulguksa is located is Tohamsan, which means inhale clouds and vomit, which is quite funny when it comes to English. The expression that describes the mountain as it seems to inhale all those mists of the sea and exhale.
The person who built Bulguksa Temple and Seokguram in the middle of Toham Mountain was a Silla official named Kim Dae-sung. There is an old story that the man named Kim Dae-sung was born into a poor family and reborn from a rich family and became a wealthy man. Kim Dae-sung, who became a high-ranking official at his afterlife, built Seokguram for his poor parents in his previous life and Bulguksa Temple for his parents in his current life. Whether it is true or not, well, it's amazing that the one person built both sites at the same time. In Buddhism, the world of Buddha is the world of transcendence. Bulguksa Temple is a temple that reproduces that. How amazing and wonderful would that be? You can also apply for a temple stay, the program to experience attendants' everyday lives and temple here in Bulguksa. If you wake up at 4 a.m. and see Bulguksa, you will be amazed by the mysterious and wondrous scenery. Another attraction of Gyeongju is that it also has sea nearby. Just with 25-minute drive from Bulguksa, there is the East Sea. It is said that the East Sea of Gyeongju is guarded by King Munmu, who unified the Gyeongju area. The name of the rock where King Munmu's ashes are buried under the sea is Tomb of King Munmu, Munmu Daewangreung. The king left a testament that he would become a dragon in the East Sea, uphold Buddhism, and protect the country.
Now let's feel more of the Sea of Gyeongju. We strongly recommend to visit the friendly fishing village in Gyeongju, and I am currently in the fishing village Cheoksa here in Gyeongju.
The time in the fishing village is the same as the time in the sea, which means depending on what the sea looks like, it also determines the daily routine of the people of the village. It is said that as the number of tourists visiting Gyeongju Fishing Village increased, changes were also needed in Cheoksa Village. They said they felt there was a need for accommodations for tourists visiting Cheoksa Village. They say the second floor of the office was recently converted into lodging for tourists. They have everything from the latest air conditioners to daily necessities. Plus, it was very spacious, which is also a good news for those traveling with friends and family, right? To hear more details, I met with the chief of the Cheoksa Fishing Village. 안녕하세요. 반갑습니다.
예.
제가 척사마을에 이렇게 왔는데요. 저희 계장님을 모시고 이야기 한번 나눠보도록 할게요. 먼저 시청자 여러분들께 좀 소개 부탁드릴게요.
간포 오루 2리 척사 어촌계장 김동률입니다. 척사 우리 어릴 때부터 척사라 해가지고 모래도 많이 있고 사자는 모래가 많이 있다 해가지고 척사 요래가지고 명칭을 하고 있지. 지금도 내려온 게 척사. 예. 정상적으로 작업하는 사람 지금 한 9명 됩니다.
좀 아프시기도 하시나요?
예. 아프면 또 두 사람 아프면 두 사람 다 빠지고 내가 이래라 저래라 말 못 하지요. 미역 이제 돌 깎는 거, 예를 들어 밭에 같으면 김 매는 거 매야 돼요. 호미 같은 거 가지고. 그래야 자연산 미역이 질이 좋은 기라. 그거 한 3, 4일 매고 한 뒤에는 또 딴 작업을 또 해삼 작업도 하고 소라 작업도 하고.
혹시 나이대는 좀 어떻게?
81살 정도 한 사람 제일 고령자입니다.
와.
81살. 암 수술한 사람도 있고.
아이고.
또 암 수술해도 물에는 까딱없이 1등 합니다. 한 58 요리 되거든요. 그런데 그 사람 외에 지나면은 이제 앞으로 해녀라 그런 건 없어지.
그러니까요. 몇 안 되는 해녀가 남아있다고 해서 저희가 이거 찾아왔거든요.
예.
척사 중계에서 이제 총무를 맡고 있는 이상프라고 합니다.
제가 너무 궁금해서 저희 총무님을 모시고 말씀 좀 드려볼게요. 그 등대가 2개가 있다고 했는데 두 가지 다른 색상으로 있다고 하거든요. 그건 왜 그런 거예요?
등대가 왼쪽에는 빨간 등대, 오른쪽에는 하얀 등대가 기본인 걸로 알고 있습니다. 근데 멀리서 이제 배들이 이제 저녁에는 불빛을 보고 들어오고 낮에는 이제 그 가까이 좀 와가지고 이제 바닷가에서 제일 이제 잘 띄는 색이 빨간색하고 하얀색으로 알고 있고, 그 빨간색, 하얀색 중간으로 배들이 안전하게 들어온다는 뜻으로 빨간색하고 하얀색인 걸로 알고 있습니다.
그럼 이 빨간색 등대, 하얀색 등대 사이로 들어오면 안전하게 들어올 수 있다. 이런 메시지를 주는 거군요.
예, 그렇죠.
A small island that sleeps on the waves and collects strong waves. A lighthouse near Campo Port, there are large, long reefs in the sea. Here is the wonderful Songdaemal Lighthouse, installed in 1933 to ensure the safety of ships. The Songdaemal Lighthouse is said to be modeled after the three-story stone pagoda of Kamunsaji Temple, which represents Silla Dynasty. It is also popular for taking pictures, as pine trees surrounding the lighthouse is like a work of art.
전복도, 싱싱한 전복도 먹을 수도 있고, 산지에서 소라 잡을 때는 소라도 먹을 수 있고, 또 대게 잡이 할 때는 또 한국에서 대게도 사잡술 수 있고, 가자미, 청가자미도 여기서 뭐 지사에서 사가지고 그래 가서 집에 가서 묵든 거 안 그러면 이거 텔때 쳐놓고 이거 뭐 썰어도 먹는 사람이 있고. 여기 유명하지요. 옛날에는 막 그냥 막 내 결지만 매는데 모아본 사람은 좋다고 해서 대차 사가거든요. 요거는 꼬들꼬들한 게 담으면 삶을수록 오돌오돌하다 약간. 그래 맛있다.
제가 알기로는 미역이 여기 그 기장부터 부산 기장부터 해가지고 여기 구룡포까지가 뭐 이게 물살이 좀 세다 해야 되나? 원래 물살이 좀 세야 단산 미역이 그 풍파를 견디면서 자랐기 때문에 더 쫄깃하고 식감이 좋은 거거든요.
미역 한번 먹어봐야겠는데요? 가십시다. 네.
Korea is the country in the world that eats seaweed the most. Seaweed is rich in nutrients such as minerals, iodine, and calcium, and is especially effective in purifying the blood. So people in Korea always eat seaweed soup for important events such as childbirth and birthdays. In particular, the seaweed in Gyeongju is famous for its delicious taste. He gave me the best seaweed as a gift for me. The heart of giving without expecting anything in return, this is called Jeong in Korean. There are many people in the fishing villages of Gyeongbuk who are full of this Jeong, affection. While we were talking, he said he had something to say to those visiting Gyeongju on behalf of the residents.
저기 그 내년에 제가 그 봄에 에펙을 이제 개최하는지 알고 있는데, 왔는 김에 여기 이제 거기서 한 40분만 오시면 여기 이제 척사 마을로도 오실 수 있거든요. 여기 오면 바다도 너무 멋있고 한번 보면 사람들이 너무 반한답니다.
아름답고 먹을 것도 많고 아주 멋진 척사마을로
오세요!
As you walk up this clean and beautiful waters of the East Sea, you can also meet the fishing village of Pohang. It is also 15 minutes by car from Gyeongju Fishing Village. Although it is named Sichang-iri, the locals call their village Changbao Village, which means there were rocks were pointed like spears. Not far from Gyeongju, it is a fishing village with similar but different charm. There are various facilities in the village, such as a living culture center and cafe. There's also a merchandise market that's a great place to remember the place. I think every time I look at the souvenir I got here, I can remember every memories at this town.
이렇게 힙한 분위기랑 있으니까 되게 트렌디하다.
Combining the town's representative specialties, sea urchin and seaweed. Sea urchin seaweed soup meal kits are a big hit last Thanksgiving. It was very popular. When you go to Gyeongju, there's Pomon Complex, there's Hwangyong Garden, and there's Bulguksa. Traveling on Gyeongju tour is interesting both for eyes and the mind. Without even noticing time went by, darkness fell on Gyeongju. The night of Gyeongju is just as beautiful as the daytime. In particular, the East Palace and Wolji are some of the best spots for night viewing. This place, which has been called Anapji for a long time, was the palace where the Prince of Shilla once lived. Gyeongju is a mysterious city where cultural assets can be found just by literally digging. In 1980, pottery was discovered at this Anapji, and that's when we figured out that the name of the lake was actually Wolji. The night view of the East Palace and Wolji comes into its own true worth when the lights turns on. Many people come here just to capture the reflection of the palace in the clear moonlight. We welcome all of you in advance who will visit Gyeongju in 2025 for economic growth and prosperity in the East Pacific region. Welcome to the 1,000-year-old city of Gyeongju, where history, tradition, arts, and culture, every single part cannot be left out.